what you want.
Welcome, everybody. Episode 33 and a half. No, 33 and a third of Fucked Up My Own Joke of No Means No Thing, No Means Nothing. The podcast where three absolute complete idiots and longtime No Means No fans attempt to find the very best No Means No song of all time, of which, of course, there isn't one, by pitting songs against each other, bracket style, gladiator style, until only one shall remain, which is a long way off down the road, but we're going to give it a try. I am one of your hosts, Jordan, and I'm joined.
I'm Matthew. Hello.
And I'm the third idiot, Michelle.
Excellent. So, hey guys, I'm super stoked to see you guys again. Once again, we're shaving the mustache pretty damn fucking close. This one's coming out again next week, so it's very topical. Anything we talk about will be right up there. R.I.P. Gilbert Gottfried. Love that guy.
God.
I was real sad. Super funny fucking
Iago.
motherfucker.
Wasn't he the parrot in Aladdin or some shit?
Oh, yeah.
Right. Yeah. I was like, Iago, what are you bringing up Othello for? Like, oh yeah, we're talking about Aladdin. Iago was the schmarmy guy in Othello and too. That's why they named the parrot after him.
He was the duck in the Aflac commercials. Don't forget that.
Of course.
I mean, now, come on.
I don't think I know that.
Yes. And probably a No Means No fan. We just don't know that, but I'm going to go ahead and just peg it.
Surely.
So before we dive into tonight's juicy meal, let's go ahead and have a little bit of the power of positive drinking. Talk about what we're drinking. I am back on the whiskey wagon because I don't have much Marniac left, so I'm saving it for one special song that has not come up yet. And when that song hits, I'll be pouring
You're going to have a new bottle.
I'm going to have an extra tall glass to down the rest of it. But this stuff's pretty fucking good, I got to say. So, Michelle, what are you drinking?
Well, I got to tell you, I'm a little bit pissed because I think every year at St. Patrick's Day, Guinness just deluges, if that's a word, the whole United States with Guinness. And then everybody realizes it's fucking good and they drink all of it. So I went to the store and there were bottles of Guinness, but no.
Drink a bottle of Guinness?
No. Blech. There were no cans and I was pissed. So I really was pissed. So because I've not been drinking
you can't get
much
as pissed.
alcohol. Well, no, and I don't get pissed. The fucking flavor of that. Come on, do I need to get into it again? It's just so good. But I had to get a standby, so I've had this on here before. This is the Cozy Sweater by Iron Horse Brewery. They make the Irish Death, which is really good, but this has a little less alcohol in it.
That fucking beer.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's like vanilla milk stout. I think it's what it is.
Ooh,
yeah, one of the few flavors I will allow into my alcoholic beverage.
Yeah. Nice. Right. All right, Matthew, how about you?
Well, I had a few things on tap. I'm sort of burying the lead here, but I got home today with some beer, and my neighbor came home, who is Irish, and his name's Steve. He's in the basement suite. Normally, it's Matt next door who listens to the podcast and gets me interesting beers when I feed his cat, which I'm doing again this weekend. So, anyway, Steve says. Just, chit-chatting, and I brought some beers home and stuff, and he's like, what you got? And I told him, and he's like, oh, my family's here from Ireland, and they brought me some special Guinnesses. And I'm like,
my fucking God! I'm going to get in the car right now.
Right here.
Oh, my God.
Right here is the Nitro Surge, the Guinness Nitro Surge. And I asked him if I could borrow the little thing, because he told me it doesn't have the widget in it. It has this special gadget that it goes on top and it charges with a USB charger. And I don't know what the fuck it does. I think it actually draws nitrogen right out of the air. So this can, it's a real Irish pint. It's straight from Ireland, apparently. So yeah, 558 milliliters. So it's bigger than your standard can. It's taller. You can see that, and it's got instructions on it. Yeah.
Oh my God!
It says open chilled can and connect device when opening. Push button once to activate. hold can horizontal. I don't have the right shape, but I do have a big glass here. It's pretty. He said, "Yeah, bring the biggest one you got."
God.
And then hold can horizontal and fill glass 2/3, and then keep angle between glass and can while slowly tilting. Allow liquid to settle, and then tilt to pour the remaining liquid. Now enjoy. So I thought
wait,
maybe,
there was one more line in there you forgot, which is make sure to turn the capstan motor. That's fucking rigid
this fucking
man.
gadget here with a big gold button and a nozzle. So I guess let's try this out, shall we?
Let's try it.
God, I can't believe
I'm
this.
excited and nervous.
So I'm out Guinnessing Michelle tonight, thanks to Steve.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Yeah.
My flat Guinness.
That's appropriate. So it's appropriate. It's a night that you don't have a Guinness.
I know.
Actually.
Oh God, this is the worst tease.
You line up the thing, and you push
I
this
think
on.
I could get to his house before the podcast ends, and then I can have my own. You know, what is it? 45 minutes, 50 minutes.
There it is. It's Guinness with the nozzle on.
Oh my
Jesus
God!
Christ, it looks like an AT-AT.
Yeah, kind of.
You're putting the gas in there with that?
It's a Star Wars.
I don't
cannon.
know what the fuck it does. Well, I'm gonna let's listen. Push the button once.
I can't stand the suspense.
I don't hear anything.
Oh, it's lit up. So he says it's charged.
The Guinness can is lit up. I mean, what?
No, that's the can. See that? You can see that at the top.
No, I see.
It lights up the harp. Oh, I
can't. To let you know that it's good. Jesus Christ.
All right,
hold can horizontal.
Don't point it at your face.
All right. See what happens. Oh.
It's like a little. Jesus Christ.
My God.
Is it? It's foaming it.
It sure is. I need one of these.
A little behind the scenes, everybody. You can't see this, and I wish you could, but Matthew's Zoom is a little bit delayed, so it's like watching all of this and watching a dubbed Kung Fu movie because his audio is a little bit behind. So as I'm watching him do this amazing pour, it's like I'm watching him be dubbed. It's just about the best thing ever.
Take a screenshot of this. This needs to be like the thing.
Wait, hold on. God damn it. It's going to take a second.
Okay, there's 2/3. Got to slowly tilt it back.
Yeah, and then you got to...
Okay, wait, hold on. Pour it again. My goddamn screen caption software. Wait.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. God damn it.
That's not going to help.
Yeah, I screwed it up. It's too late.
It's doing the thing.
People are just going to have to imagine it.
This is like church when the priest turns the wine into the blood or something here.
But that's exactly right.
Yeah.
You've just seen the No Means No podcast version. Well, you've heard the No Means No podcast version of transubstantiation, everybody.
Yeah.
We're here. Get in line. Everybody get in line. We're going to give you our little, your little capstan motor on the tongue and some of this delicious blood of Mr. Happy.
I want you to do the 3-part pour.
Yeah, which I am going to wait.
That's what's
Here
happening
we go.
Here. Cool.
And in the meantime,
I've cheers.
Been wetting my whistle
fellas.
with this Patina Brewing Company Kiwi Sour.
Yeah, well, good palate cleanser.
I can't believe what I just witnessed. And let me ask you, what's happening with that gizmo when you're done?
Oh, I'm giving it back to Steve.
So they brought it from home, and they're going to take it back with them. And this is something you can get there?
I guess so. I didn't get the whole story. I mean, you can look it up on the Guinness website, I'm sure. But his family brought it to him, so I just don't know whether he's going to be able to buy these nitro cans. I'm sure they're fucking everywhere. Like whatever. Guinness is a massive company.
Come on, this is America. If something can be done with a USB shit, we've got it somewhere. For fuck's sake.
This isn't where I am. This is not America.
Let me tell you something. Do you want to listen to this? Look, my friend, who I'm going to talk about tonight, very shortly, is going to Ireland tomorrow because that's where he's from. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to request some items.
Fuck yeah. You got your first one right there.
First two. I'm getting that can with that squirter.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm going to have my own with a lit harp.
That is amazing. Jeez. That's pretty amazing.
Jesus.
Well, listeners, I don't know how many of you have anything that cool to drink, but, grab your water, grab your vodka, grab your booze, your beer.
Grab your
babes,
Techno Guinness.
Whatever you got. Grab your Techno Guinness.
Oh my God.
and join us in this No Means No
Amazing.
rave. We're
Thank you,
going
Steve.
deep.
Yeah,
Thanks,
Steve. I want to
we
talk
all
to
enjoyed
you.
that.
I'm gonna have a word with that guy.
All right,
God.
so let's approach. Let's draw our two. Yeah, cheers. First of all,
Fucking
cheers, you two.
You tease.
It's good to see you
look
both.
at that.
Good to see you.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
It's all over his stash. He's got a beer stash. That is sweet, sweet
You gotta take a screenshot of that.
beergism.
Got milk? Got no means no?
Wait, don't lick it off. Oh, I got it.
Oh,
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh Jesus.
I got it. Although it just looks like you've got two big buck teeth in the screenshot.
Give another swig here. Get a good. Now it looks
That's
like you
not as
have.
good. I missed the first one.
Now it looks like you have. What do dogs get when they foam
There
in
we
the
go.
mouth? Rabies. Yeah.
All right, I got it. All right. We've tortured our audience enough with shit they can't even watch. I promise actually, I don't promise this, but I'm threatening someday, ladies and gentlemen, for us to start recording these by video. Maybe round 2 we'll do that. We'll have to see, and throwing them up on the tubes. But for now, just use your imagination. And we know you all have really good imaginations because you listen to this band.
Right.
And you're not going to listen to this band if you don't have a good imagination. And as a matter of fact, it will help inculcate one in you. And on that note, let's dive into our first 2 bangers. All right. So tonight we are going to put in this corner, Teresa, Give Me That Knife, off of Small Parts, Isolated and Destroyed, 1988, and also another live and cuddly classic, versus Joyful Reunion off 0 + 2 = 1, 1991. Holy fucking shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, first, before we let Matthew opine about Teresa, let's go ahead and cautiously take the knife from her and listen to a little bit of this song.
Can you picture me standing there? I see it. Can you picture me way up there? I see it now. My whole life. I see it now. My whole damn life. Teresa, what would you die for? What would you die for? What would you die for, Teresa? What would you die for? Teresa! Give me that knife! Teresa! Give me that knife! Give me that knife! Teresa! Give me that knife! Teresa! Give me that knife! Give me that knife! Teresa! Can you picture me? Way up there. I see it. Can you picture me? Standing there. I see it now. My whole life. I see it now. My whole damn life. Teresa, what would you die for?
All right, Matthew, stick that knife back in. What you got for us?
is this their fastest song? Would you say? It's got to be right up there.
Probably. It's right at towards
I
the
got some
top.
notes about that subject.
Yeah. Super duper fast, hardcore mosh song, and some of the other moshy ones annoyed me more back in the day than this one. This one's just so straight on. One thing I didn't notice before, and again, it's just the more detail of wearing better headphones. And unfortunately, this album is not mastered as well as it might be, I believe. But there's
Correct.
keys. There's
Correct.
keys in this song. There's some
No!
bass notes. Yeah. There's some bass
I
notes.
did not hear keys.
There's like 3 notes. Doom, doom, doom.
Oh yeah.
Doom, doom,
And there's keys in
doom.
that part?
Yep. There's keys. There's just 3 notes, and they're like the lowest ones on the keyboard.
That's incredible.
what would you die for? And I'd never noticed that before. And that's what correct me if I'm wrong, but it's not just the bass that's doing that. And that's pretty fucking
You got to
cool.
send me a link to those headphones you bought, because I got to get those headphones.
I need to hear this.
Oh, actually, I was like listening to it just on YouTube or whatever, some shitty MP3 or whatever, and I could still hear it. Once I heard it, it was like pretty
sure.
That's what it was. Yeah, so that was awesome. The bass is so ominous in the chorus. And then the staccato like gunfire.
Exactly.
Anyway, yeah, I love the singing in unison. I love that the Andy and Rob kind of trade off. But I don't know what the song is about for sure. I never really thought about it. I don't know who Teresa is. I don't really have any theories. I did think about the fact that there aren't a lot of personal names in No Means No songs. Very, very few.
Yeah.
Right.
Like there's, Joneses as a sort of concept. There's Bob, there's Slade. There's Teresa. If you guys can think any others off the jump, I couldn't just without, I'm sure there are some, but not very many.
That's a good question. No.
Yeah. So who the fuck was Teresa? I don't know whether this is like an exhortation to her not to commit violence against someone else or against herself. Is it a song against suicide? He's trying to convince her not to commit suicide. Can you picture me there, way up there? And then, I am almost there. I don't know. Maybe it's
here we go.
A friend of his that what?
I thought you were going to start talking about sexual intercourse.
I wasn't. Actually,
sorry.
That was entirely you.
That's all in your brain. Right. We're not like that, Michelle.
Okay.
I meant almost. I'm almost there. Like if Teresa's at the point of suicide, I'm almost at the point of suicide as well. That's what I was going for there.
I didn't mean that.
Is it a knife or is it a cock?
There you go.
Calling back to another No Means No song. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, what would you die for? What's is that question? What would you die for? What would you kill for? What would you die for? What is causing you to go to that point?
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of repetition in the song, and there is this sort of dichotomy, and I don't know whether it is him and someone else or whether it's him and some sort of aspect of himself. I'm going to be quite interested to see what you guys have to say about this. Anyway, like so many of the songs on Live and Cuddly, it's actually faster, a little bit faster, a little bit careening, just about off the rails. I don't know how they keep it under control.
No shit.
I do love the fact it's the last song on one side, I think, of Live and Cuddly, and then it's right at the end. It has the little reference to
knives and forks,
the riff from Real Love, and then knives and forks without the forks.
Knives and what the hell are you talking about? Do I have?
Andy goes like, knives and forks, and forks. It's really weird
without the forks.
Oh, this is the Live and Cuddly version, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you meant the original. I thought it was.
Yeah, you didn't hear in the original where they have that?
No.
Anyway, I don't have a lot to say about the song because it's very short. It's very perfect hardcore song. And one of kind of very few that are like that. And I like that, they're not so specific. You could sort of interpret the song a bunch of different ways. Which is kind of par for the course, but also like maybe not even more nebulous than average because there's so few lyrics, really.
Yeah.
Most of them are repeated, and it's just a shredder.
Nice.
There you go. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say. So say it,
Michelle. What do you got? Say it.
All right.
Do it.
All right. Here it goes. This onslaught is seriously cool to me. It feels like speed metal Slayer type piece, right? Which digresses from their usual stuff. The beats per minute is around 168, 169.
Oh, Jesus.
What?
That's
all right,
crazy.
all right. I'm not going to spaz out again here.
No, dude.
No. Okay, so my most favorite part is the digga 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 digga. What would you die for section? Rob's like, excuse me, may I have your license and registrations, please? What's happening here? He intrinsically asked Teresa, and then the music to me sounds like a theremin.
Oh yeah,
and that's
that bottom part
keys
of
or
the
an organ or something.
Yeah, it sounds like.
Gotcha.
Or God, I just
Totally.
saw Jello be out for a little bit there, didn't I?
You did, yeah.
But yeah, that's like a whole step, and then down a minor third, which makes up a tritone. So tritone is 3 whole steps.
Nice.
3 whole tones. Tritone.
Nice
Creepy. What? Oh, nice try. Okay, yeah.
Like that.
I seriously want to know the story about this song. Did they know it, Teresa? Does she have a knife in her hand? This had to be seriously hard to play. It sounds relentless as a freight train on the loose, and then it makes a few inquiring pit stops along the way. The use of triplets in the beginning and the give me that knife part. Triplet.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last one isn't a triplet, but the first two are. So what about the beginning? The give me the knife part is totally slamming and ends up amping the anxiety and the fervor. To use Jordan's common description, this song is a total banger, and it perfectly kicks your ass with its fury. I wouldn't ask them to play it these days, but I would love a lounge version of it.
Oh, nice. That would kick ass.
Yeah.
Teresa,
that would kick
give
ass.
me that knife.
Give me that knife.
Hey, girl.
What would you die for?
What's problem?
I'm almost there. Nope, now we're getting back to sex. Let's cut it out.
No.
All right. Yeah. I would echo a lot of what both of you said. I remember in one of Andy's comments, I think to us, not maybe in a private chat, he talked about this as one of their Hanson Brothery songs, right? Which I think is just because it's sort of not because it sounds like Hanson Brothers, but because it's really fast and three-chordy in a way. And I mean, I think it's a good bookend with Dead Souls, which is another song that sort of has that same feel on this album. So fucking good. This is a great song live, right? Just because it's thrashy and the pit just goes fucking nuts. It's great. And that you both talked about this, and Matthew, when you said gun, like machine gun, that's really makes me feel it's so tight. And I love that the bass guitar and the drums are all together on those parts, right? They're completely in unison. And even the vocals, Teresa, give me that knife. It's just, everything's like together. It's so fucking perfect. And yeah, it's one of their few like super thrashy. I mean, Brainless Wonder kind of on Wrong in a different way. Right. But this is like super hard, thrashy fucking punk. It's super good, right, which is really different than the tone of this album, which is one of the things I love about it. It's not, other than Dead Souls, it's an oddity and almost like you guys want to call us punk? Okay, well, here's our version of hardcore punk, but then we're going to go and do Real Love. So fuck you, like it's fucking great. I mean, John's machine gun snare on this is just, it's just fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. I got to re-listen for that. I got to re-listen for that. The keys. I have never heard that. I hear Rob on the bass doing a like a really fast pick, but I don't hear that key. So I got to go back and listen to it. Yeah,
me too.
In terms of the meaning, I've never been able to shake the feeling that this is a song about religion. And here's why I think that. Because Teresa? First of all, to me, well, not just that, Mother Teresa, but also Teresa's a religious name. It's the name of a saint. It's a very religious name. If you're going to pick a name, Teresa's a religious name. And there was a phenomenon known as voluntary martyrdom a long time ago, where people would get so worked up for Christ, nuns especially, that they would kill themselves.
I think that's still happening.
And that's what this sounds like to me. It sounds like someone who's so ecstatic. Can you picture me way up there? Picture me in heaven. I want to be in heaven. I'm willing to kill myself in order to be with God. Can you picture me way up there? I see it. I'm standing there, right? Like I want to be up there with God. Shit. And so I'm going to kill myself. And that, what would you die for? To me sounds almost like that religious, doomish priest, like, What would you die for? Is this the thing? Are you
Yeah.
fucking holy enough? Are you devout enough to kill yourself? What would you die for?
Yeah.
I'll die for that. Give me that. Like, I'll die for God. Let me kill myself. And I've never been able to shake that. I don't know that it's not solid enough that I could
It's a
say
good
with
argument,
any certainty, but the fervor of the song is what makes me feel that, both in the fervor of like, I see it, I'm standing there, right? Like, that's such a ecstatic sounding chorus. And then the low, like, what would you die for? It doesn't sound to me like someone trying to talk someone out of suicide. It sounds more like how seriously are you going to take this shit?
He's looking
right?
in
Like,
her
are
eyes.
you really serious?
Yeah.
What would you die for, Teresa?
Yeah.
So that's always been my impression. I think mostly because of the name, the name Teresa. And like you say, Matthew, it's not you. They don't use proper names. So when they use proper names, I've got to think, well, it's got to refer to something. And the only thing Teresa refers to me is religion. It's Saint Teresa. There's, Mother Teresa. You couldn't pick a woman's name other than Mary, which we're going to use differently.
Right.
That to me means religion more. There's no woman's name that you could say that would make people not think of Catholicism or that kind of shit other than Teresa. So I think there's something in there about that, but I'm not sure.
Maybe she's a painter though, and she's just high up on a ladder. And
no, she could be, because it could absolutely be like someone trying to talk someone off of like killing themselves because they want to be famous, or like there's all sorts of other interpretations. But I've never been able to shake the religious one. It's the one that's just stuck in my head since the beginning. But
there's
I
lots
love
of
the
Saint
song.
Teresa. I just looked it up.
Saint Teresa. There's a lot of Saint Teresas.
Oh, yeah.
It's a big
this
one.
It's
a very religious name.
Looked it up. Like, there's Saint Teresa of Avila, Spanish nun, known for her raptures, which sometimes involved levitations, and then she wrote down.
Can you see me way up there?
Yeah. Exactly.
Is there a saint of knives?
It says that there's speculative conclusion, she may have suffered from temporal lobe epilepsy. So that's interesting.
Well, there you go.
Huh.
Makes you float. 9 out of 10 doctors. All right. Well, so that's all I got about Teresa, but I do love the song. I think it's a great palate cleanser on a very brooding album in many ways. And this one's just sticks its finger right up your butt. It's like, come on, get up, dance around a little bit. Up.
Anybody ever wakes me up like that, they're gonna have problems.
Oh, they're gonna have a knife. That's right.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on to something far more mellow and relaxed.
I thought that this one might have closed out Teresa. I thought it might have closed out that album, but it hasn't. There's still one left on that album.
Well, I was going to say, and I wanted to say this earlier, we actually have 3 other album closers in this raft. So it's a little disappointing that Teresa wasn't an album closer, because Joyful Reunion and the last 2, which I won't talk about yet, all closed their original not original. So they all closed their respective albums in one form or another. We'll talk about it as we get to that. So kind of 3 album closers and 1 palate cleanser. I don't know what you'd call it, but let's move on to maybe one of the best album closers of any fucking album of all fucking time, Joyful Reunion. And let's get a little joyful and listen to probably just the whole fucking song. That's what I'm going to put in here, but we'll see what clip I put in. All right, here you go.
Your name calls me, you're the one trying. Stars
All right, Matthew. I cannot imagine what you got to say about the song because there's so much to say. So go for it. Dive in. Let me hear it.
This is one of those ones I was a little bit worried because it's for me, Ghosts and Joyful Reunion are a 1-2 punch, and they're difficult to just like Tired of Waiting and Stock Taking. It's very difficult for me to, or Tower and it's catching up. Hard to disentangle them to a certain extent, but they are so musically different that I didn't have as much trouble as I have with those other ones because Ghosts and Joyful Reunion, and I've mentioned it before, really helped me get through the loss of my dad. Ghosts and then Joyful Reunion. And so I think it's a song about resiliency, but it's also, again, it's that sort of dialogue with Slade again. I think it's, the dark part, the part you want to banish, but also the strong part. And he's talking about talking to that aspect of the self. I think it's a joyful reunion. You try to distance yourself from that dark part of yourself, but it always comes back. It's always there. It's part of you. It's your dark side. It's your other side. Not only do you see dark side, light side, but it's your other side, and it's maybe the part that you seek to distance yourself from, but it's always there. And this is the dark side talking back to you, and it did certainly help me with losing my dad and sort of coming back to myself, and that maybe I looked up to my dad. He was my friend, and not many. I don't think everybody can say that about their parent, and that was cool. That was a cool realization, and I realized that I was strong enough to get along without him, and this song really helped me come to terms with that. Fantastic song.
Good stuff.
One of the very few songs there's no bass in it.
It's there. It's just really buried, I think, but it's there.
I hear it.
There's bass. It's just not. The guitar is way out front.
The guitar way out front, and then of course the drums. And there's so very much drums. And I don't think I was disappointed to discover that we found out through a conversation. I'm like, that's not a double bass pedal. He wouldn't play it with a double bass pedal. But I don't think that is possible. What he's doing, I don't think that's possible. And it turns out that it was indeed double tracked. There's so many drums. Yeah.
I didn't realize. I don't remember I don't remember that conversation, but that's amazing.
Yeah,
and a little disappointing, but amazing.
Right there. Double tracked.
So much thunderous drums. Oh, he could probably still do it. Yeah, I'm like, you're listening to it, and I'm like, there's just simply not. It's not possible to play.
It's not possible to do it, even with his 8 arms and 6 feet.
I think he could do it. He just didn't want to because he needed to save his chops.
Oh, I love the footwork on the hi-hat. He's not playing the hi-hat. It's just and the China. Chuck, the China. I love the triplets. Suck fucking on the toms, and it's just relentless the whole way through. The drums are relentless.
Perfect.
The vocals are also relentless, and it is some of my. I sing this one, and almost every time I hear it, it's one of the ones that I know every fucking word. And Rob's vocal range is just so incredible. When he says "You can't kill me" is one of the most powerful vocal lines in anything. It just what it says and how it says it is
goddamn sermon.
Yeah, totally. So many lines in this song. Look at this face, I'm the one you love. The white light of truth from heaven above, an angel of shit, fucker. It's like adulation of unreasonable. Maybe it's it's your dark side, but it's also that part of you can't realize that sort of you're looking up to. Yeah, you're looking up to yourself. You're looking up to your ideal, and it's just like no, you're never gonna achieve it.
An
you're just
angel of shit.
So great,
beautiful.
Your name calls me. Your mirror is my gate. Smash through the looking glass. Fucker.
Wow, I hate to be fucker.
hard not to talk about the part where the guitars stop and it's just the drums for a little bit, and then
my
it
God.
just the guitar kind of tears back in, and that's exactly the verb that I feel. It's like it's tearing through that mirror.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is smashing and tearing through that mirror. Yeah.
Yeah, the guitar is tearing through the mirror. Yeah. So and then they're just guitar noises.
Those aren't noises. That's not a noise. That's apocalyptic beauty.
Yeah,
yes.
Totally.
That's Adam in the End times 10.
There are, as we always discover, I looked back into the lyric sheet because I wasn't sure. It says shake, break, mutilate, grind me into the ground, but consistently break is spelled like the brakes on a car. And I don't think that's right. But I do know that John Wright is a poor speller.
Is he really?
So I think that might have been a mistake. But also, a lot of the lyric sites say raise the institutions. And it's not RAISE. It's fucking
it's
RAZE. Destroy it, like
of course,
level it to the ground. And then,
although I think it could be both. Like he's got a lot of. Anyway, I'll stop.
Could be. I know I don't get back into it. And then, of course, one of the last lines and one of my fucking favorite lines, especially as a dude who likes to grow things in the garden. I'll grow up with the first rain, just the same.
Fucking A.
Isn't that something?
Yeah. This is the best last song. On
yes, undisputed.
Yeah, and I gotta say we got one coming up later, and it's actually pretty good too. I don't generally like it when they tack stuff on to the ends of albums, and I wondered about the End of All Lies. But yeah, I Am Wrong coming up later. That's another pretty fantastic one for the End of Wrong. But this is I just can't compete. It's just so amazing. I love the fact that it's the last song that Andy performed on a regular release.
Fuck yeah, that's right.
And so it's sort of like I'll grow up again with the first rain. That's just the same. I sort of thought, okay, well, No Means No is going to come back then, even though Andy is leaving. So it made me me feel happy. It gave me some hope. Yeah. I love that. I looked up Cut and Dried as well. I wasn't. I mean, I'm sure that that's a metaphor for some crop or other. It's just something clear, simple, according to plan, but also banal and boring and hung up. Bye bye. It's almost like this dark side of yourself, and it's dismissing the banal regular guy. Anyway, I got tons to say about the song. I've probably telegraphed which song I'm going to vote for, but I hope that I will have lots more to talk about this one in the future.
If it makes it through.
If it makes it through. Maybe. Who knows? I don't know.
Who knows? All right. Michelle, how about you?
All right. I love watching live videos of this, watching two drummers and two guitars.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's a treat. But I do think the original has bass in there.
I think so too.
Yeah, I'll
especially in those noisy bits where it's the boom, boom, boom. Like some of that goes so low.
Yep. Maybe they double tracked it with two. Maybe one was bass and one was another guitar.
Maybe somebody will fill us in a little bit on that.
Maybe that'll help.
I don't know.
Subtle. We're subtle.
Throwing it out there.
This is No Means No meets Motorhead, and you all know it. Right?
Yeah.
I have a very good friend I was talking about earlier. He's from Ireland. Oh my God, he'll kill me. He's from Northern Ireland. He's from
don't fuck that up.
What's the big black
Belfast.
Huh?
The Big Bird? Belfast.
He's from Belfast, yep, he's from Belfast. I'm going to see if he can give me one of them Guinness things. Anyways, he says this is his favorite piece, and with good reason, as I see why so many people just adore the shit out of it. The gigantic pick slides are a true treat, and while I always love hearing them, I'm glad the band never overdid it with them, right? I mean, can you think of it? I don't think they do it.
Maybe a couple other places slightly, but not like this.
But
not
big slide! Big slide! This song has a positive vibe because they're a positive band after all, and I like how it adds to the powerfulness of it. It's a celebratory piece with the strength of an ox. My personal favorite part, along with the pick slides and thunderous drums, is the line "Smash through the looking glass, fucker." This
Yeah.
triumphant slam dunk is their dooziest doozy and a fan favorite for all the right reasons.
Fuck yeah. Fan favorite for sure.
Yep.
This song, okay, I know often I get made fun of for this, but this song slays.
This does
so
slay.
Fuck you.
No.
This slays.
No Santa Claus.
Santa slay.
No,
It slits Santa's throat with a giant battle axe, sticks his head on a pike.
Teresa's knife.
Teresa.
Yeah, with Teresa's knife.
Yeah.
Matthew, you mentioned about singing the song. I do the same thing. I've always wanted there to be some fucking like No Means No karaoke somewhere, and this would be the song I'd put on. I want to just yell this fucking song on karaoke. I love this song. It is so fucking great, and you always know you're in for a treat with No Means No when it starts with the drum count off. Yeah, fuck yeah. But whenever you got a drum count off on a No Means No song, you know you're in for a fucking treat. And this one's got that 1, 2, 3, 4. You're like, oh, here it comes. And that neck scratch, that fret scratch at the beginning is just the tease in the best way. It's just like, and then suddenly just over that balls to the walls fucking drum assault, and then those simple chords, but it's just, oh my God, it just shoves its joy and power right down your throat. It is gorgeous. Mm-hmm. We were referencing this song recently with Red on Red, right? Which I think does bear that comparison. Yes. It does bear that comparison, but it was good beer, right? Good. Oh, but it does bear that comparison. But this song stands above all of those others. I mean, I agree with you, Matthew and Michelle. This is probably their best closer of any album. I know Andy, one of the things, if we ever get Andy on the podcast, which I think we will at some point, he's talked about different tracking of 0+2, which I'm really interested to hear about, how they kind of went back and forth about what to put on this album. I really want to know, like, was this ever in consideration not for the last song? Because I can't fucking imagine 0+2 = 1 without this being the last track. It just, this, like, it has to be the last track. It is so
leaves you wanting
perfect.
More.
Well, it leaves me wanting more, but it leaves me wanting more of this song. I don't want anything else after it. I just want to hit rewind, which I do often. I'm like, just hit rewind. I want to hear it again. I want to hear it again. I want to hear it again. But I don't want anything to come after that. Like, no, that's it.
It's the end of that show when you turn the lights on and you're fucking sweaty and maybe have like
you're sweaty and drunk and happy and pissed that it's over, but just loving the shit out of it.
On the floor, you're kind of choked up.
So
you ever get choked up at a concert? At one of their concerts? I fucking have.
Absolutely.
Choked
Absolutely.
Up.
So, God, so much to say about the song. And I'm already getting kind of fucking buzzed. So
good.
I want to echo what you guys have said. And Matthew, you pointed this out. And we've talked about this a lot, but Jesus Christ, Rob he's such a good vocalist.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not because of his technique. It's because of his fucking passion.
Yes.
It's so sincere and so like real. And it's just like this direct conduit to his fucking heart and soul that's just coming out directly. And God damn me, if there's another vocalist who's as good at that, who's as good at like fucking who's as good at communicating that. And this song, it's so in every goddamn line. He's just communicating that power.
Yes.
He is purely from his fucking heart to your fucking heart with no gas in between. It's just right there. And I'm totally here for it. I think it's beautiful. I think it's sublime. I think Rob, he gets talked about as a bassist all the time. We need to talk about Rob as a vocalist. He's fucking insane. It's crazy what he's able to do because of the passion. And there are songs coming up that I'm going to go even crazier about with that. But this song is high on that list of his ability to communicate directly to me as a human being. And it's fucking gorgeous. And Matthew, I think you've nailed it on I've got some other stuff to say that may be a little tangential and dive into some of the other stuff. But in general, I think your lyrical analysis is spot on. I think this really is about that unconscious part of ourselves that may be a little bit darker, but is also righteous. Is also that part that's righteous and wants to smash through our own fucking accreted sort of social norms and the part of us that's just sort of fallen asleep.
Yeah.
And this just wants to smash through all of that shit. And it may be a little dark because it's uncomfortable, but it doesn't strike me as the same darkness as Slade. This strikes me as sort of that more righteous fury that's coming through, and not so much the darker part that's trying to lead you back into the darkness, which is what it's almost, to me, in a way, I have to say, like the other side of that impulse of Slade. It's the other part of the unconscious part. But there's very much that thing in there, and you said it. You said it beautifully. Mm-hmm. Also, though, I was thinking about it, listening to it now, and there's a part of it that feels really fucking relevant on a macro level, right? Because this is a very intimate song, but there's part of this that also feels a little bit like that. It's time for the fucking guillotine, fuckers. Like a little bit of that. It reminds me of the art, and not to, like, this is 2 episodes in a row. I'm getting a little political because I talked about Dark Ages. And so I actually don't think Rob was necessarily thinking this, but this is what it makes me feel. Right. There's a lot of arguments going on right now. It makes me think because of fucking Elon Musk and his garbage with Twitter and free speech and all of that, where there's this feeling that, like, you can't tell, like all these people who are complaining about being repressed are stifling free speech. This song is the anthem of those people who are standing up and going, we have been kept under for fucking 2,000 years. Yeah. Fuck you. It's time to hear my voice. Smash through the looking glass, fucker. Yeah. You cannot keep us down anymore. It's our turn, and we're going to have a reunion, and you're just going to have to fucking sit back and take it. I'm sorry. It's our turn to speak up. And it just makes me feel that energy of like, yeah, of course, all these people are getting loud and strident. They haven't been able to talk for fucking 2,000, 3,000 years. Mm-hmm. And there's that energy of just like, you know what? It's time to raise those institutions. It's time to tear down all of that shit. But I want to point out one lyric in particular that blew me away when I really listened to it this time, because it just points out how fucking brilliant Rob Wright is. So there's those different choruses, first of all of which are brilliant. There is no road to ruin, not a final solution, just a grand execution of our joyful reunion, right? Which all of those are like well-known sayings. Final solution, we all know what that means. It's really fucking dark. Road to ruin, grand execution, and all of these things, to me, what I think is brilliant about those verses is that each of those phrases, much like you pointed out, Matthew, with raise the institutions, they can actually be their opposite. Each of those things can be their opposite. Grand execution could be meaning this is something that we've done really well. We did it with a big fucking thing. It's a grand execution. Or no, it's the public square where the guillotine's coming down, right? Like each of these things can be taken in both frames. And he does that, which every fucking one of those verses, it's we'll raise the institutions, raise and tear down, raise, make all new resolutions. It's fucking brilliant. But the line where he says, through these painful convolutions. Now, I wasn't sure what a convolution is, but I've always loved that fucking line. I've always thought of it as a convulsion. But here's what a convolution is. A convolution is it. No, listen. It's that's right. It's a mathematical operation on 2 functions that produces a third function that expresses how the shape of one is modified by the other. That's the whole fucking song in 2 words. Painful convolution. That's the entire fucking song in one obscure word modified by the word painful. Only fucking Rob Wright would sneak that shit in. Only Rob Wright would sneak in differential fucking calculus that has esoteric meaning based on a psychological content of his fucking song. This guy, this album lyrically to me is their absolute pinnacle. I don't know. I don't know. I want to credit Rob for most of that. I probably shouldn't, but fucking hell, this guy is on fire. Yep. And just reading into that and realizing and really thinking about it, like, fucking A, it's not a throwaway line, but it goes by so fast, but it's everything in 2 fucking words. Mm-hmm. It's just fucking gorgeous. This song is enormous and large and intimate and right at the breast. Fuck, it's so fucking good. I could listen to this song every day. And like you, Matthew, this is one of the songs that I demand be played at my fucking funeral. Live. Fucking live shit. Well, if only, but who the fuck else could play this live? Hopefully they'll be dead long before I am, just because they're at least 20 years older, but I don't want them dead ever.
No, never.
Never. That's true. Never. No one could die who's created this. In all seriousness, I hope they are immortal because of this music. And I hope this sort of No Means No renaissance is sort of bubbling up. And when Jason's book, which we're all fucking ready for, and not ready, I mean, it's cooking, and the re-release, I really do feel like there's going to be a renaissance of this band. And songs like this, I cannot wait for people to discover this fucking song who've never heard this band, because it is as relevant now, it is as exciting now as it has ever been. And there are a billion people out there who've never heard this, and it's going to be the best fucking day of their life when they get to hear this song.
Oh man!
So that's it. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, it's like you got to stop there. That was.
You know, being that you're talking about that, and No Means No going through a renaissance, and if there were pressure for them to tour again, your friend who makes you start again just when you thought it was finally the end.
Yes!
Yeah!
Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
Please?
God damn!
I thought of a.
All right, well, we got to.
I know what convolution means. I mean, it's something I didn't know the mathematical definition, but it's like you say, it's a convoluted story, something that's kind of folded around itself. Like it's complicated and meandering, that sort of thing. But the shape of the lobes of the ridges and crenellations in the brain are also convolutions.
That's right.
So your painful convolutions are like the part of your brain that makes us thinkers. I'm on record right now as saying I have no doubt that Rob was aware of every fucking meaning of all of that, because they all fit. They all fit. Every single fucking. He reads and he thinks.
Yeah.
He thinks deeply, but he doesn't just think. This guy fucking connects it to his heart and just barrels it right through your fucking nose. I don't know. Whatever. I'm done. Let's vote.
Wow.
Yeah. Matthew?
That's a fanboy right there.
Yeah, I'm a big fanboy.
I know you are.
Yeah.
I think it's wonderful.
Geeks my shit out. Matthew, what do you got?
Teresa's great. It's super intense. It's super fast. It's super like charges you up. But Joyful Reunion does the same thing, but just a lot more meaningfulness and complex thought and everything like that. And the physical and emotional and mental, the trifecta for me in this song, it's got to be Joyful Reunion, being that's it's probably one of my favorite No Means No songs, period. So sorry, Teresa, but that's the way it goes.
Michelle?
I'm going to be honest here and be honest with myself and you guys. I know what's going through, and I'm glad, but I'm going to give some props. After all that, I feel like a schmo. I am going to vote for Teresa. That's what I circled. I am. No, yeah. I know. Nice. I know. Do you mind? Do you mind?
Well, of course not. We fucking saw.
I love Teresa.
It was great.
I do, because I like when hey, excuse me. I like that intimate part and the music. I'm voting for Teresa. But no, let's have it, Jordan. Come on, bring it through.
Well, yeah, I'm voting for Joyful Reunion. I'm actually glad. I'm surprised, but glad this wasn't unanimous.
Okay.
But this is not an easy one for me. There's been a couple recently that have been really easy in this. Well, actually, this one is easy for me, but not in the sense that's like, well, Teresa, whatever. It's like, no, I fucking love that song. It's great.
I love Teresa.
But Teresa doesn't get into my heart.
Right.
It doesn't go there. Mm-hmm. Joyful Reunion, like, I feel like Rob's passion, he's demonstrating that element that I don't know of any other artist who does it in the way he does. And I just think it's fucking beautiful. Yep. So yes, Joyful Reunion.
All right.
So Joyful Reunion is going through for now.
All right.
Boy, that was fun, guys. That was a good
totally.
one. I've been waiting for that song. That's been, I don't know. I mean, there'll be a couple more coming up. I might try to quote unquote rank. I don't know where I'd rank this, but it's up at the fucking top. Like this has got to come for me anyway. I would imagine this is going to go all the way towards the end of this fucking podcast.
So. With good reason.
It's so fucking good. But we'll see.
You know,
I mean, if it comes up against Baldwin, I don't know. It's going to be
totally. I know. Just the math at that point. I was trying to think just off the top of my head, like if there were any other vocalists, and of course, like Rob was probably first. Somebody who just really just connects with me all the time. There's range, there's skill. Is PJ Harvey is another one for me.
Yes.
She's great.
Artist.
I've tried to foist this person on you
guys.
Trying
to think anybody like that. It's like, yeah.
It hasn't stuck for either of you, but my musical tastes have been stuck in the mud since the 90s, mostly, maybe a little bit early 2000s. What the fuck was that?
That was not my motorcycle.
It was the sound of God.
Yeah.
The only band that's cracked through my armor in the last 20 years was this kind of obscure indie band called Hopalong, who's got a vocalist, Frances Quinlan. And her voice and her ability to express passion is like PJ Harvey to me is like, I don't fucking know what I'm hearing, but this is from another universe. And just, so anyway, there's very few vocalists that are like that for me. Yeah. And Rob is top of the class. Well, and we'll talk about later, Andy in a different way.
If you guys get to say who you like as a vocalist, I'm going to say who I like, and that is Jeff fucking Buckley. That's my guy.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
hell yeah.
Oh, Jeff Buckley.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know what? Listeners, tell us, send us like on the groups or socials or whatever. Who else to you communicates vocally like Rob? Not like Rob, but at least there's no one like Rob. But who means that much to you, right?
Yeah, who pulls at your balls and your brains and your heartstrings all at the same time?
Yeah. All right. Well, let's let you take a little.
My balls.
Yeah, definitely pulls your balls, tickles them a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's take a little break and let the listeners hear the voice of somebody else. And I think this time we'll let you hear them first before we give you our dumb sales pitch about stroking our ego and sending us in shit to our social media accounts, shit like that. So today we're going to thank listener Peter Rachel. I think it's Rachel, could be Rochelle, but you're not French, so I think it's Rachel. And you sent us some great entries. So I'm going to play these. There are 3 of them back to back. Not in our Facebook group, which is great. No, so Peter, thank you for these.
Petey, come on.
Really appreciate it.
It's cool.
And
is it?
I haven't yet listened to these all the way through because I kind of like to be a little surprised, like Strange He Is.
Yeah, I haven't heard them at all.
So we're going to go in here and hear these and settle back. Let's hear what Peter, thank you very much, sir, has to say about this. It's all right, band.
Okay.
Hi, my name's Pete. Just finally getting around to submitting this. I've been meaning to do it for a long while. I've been listening to the podcast right from the start, and thanks to you guys, really enjoying it. I've always been obsessed with music, and I always used to love just getting in my car and listening to music. And the last couple of years, though, I started listening to podcasts and audiobooks on my way to work, and really sort of changed my life, I think. And I've just really got a lot of enjoyment out of the podcast, so thanks for that. So I grew up in England, and when I was 16, I moved to a little town near Derby, aka Derby. And I was 16 years old. I had to leave behind, the friends I'd grown up with my whole life. And I met a guy called Sean. They called him Chalky. I think he had sort of jet black hair. I think that's where it came from. But so we had quite a lot in common, and he listened to a lot of sort of Slayer, Metallica, that kind of stuff. And I was more into like Bad Religion, No Effect, Black Flag, all of that kind of the skate punk type music from the States, because I had friends who were skaters before I moved. So we both got on well. And he just happened to listen to the John Peel show one night and heard the No Means No session. I think that was around about 1989. And had a couple of tracks from Wrong on it. I think Wrong was either just out or about to come out. And so I went over to his house. He played me the songs. And then we both went out and bought Wrong. And then, of course, from that point on, it just sort of pretty much changed my life. We bought everything they'd ever released. I remember having the Sex Mad yellow vinyl, and I had every album on CD and vinyl, whatever I could get my hands on. But eventually I moved to the States and sold everything, but that's another story. In 1990, No Means No came to Nottingham, and Chalky and I went to see them. And I was just blown away at how good they were live. I loved the band. I was obsessed with the albums that I had, and didn't know what to expect. I I never had any money. I couldn't afford to go to concerts. So, you know, going to a concert and seeing a band that I loved, and they were so good live, and the banter and just how funny they were and just how approachable they looked. And so they had this raffle, and they pulled a ticket out of a hat. And I'm in the crowd, you know, just having a great time, and they pulled my number out, and I couldn't believe it. I was like,
what the fuck did you get?
You know, this was amazing for me because it was the prize was a hoodie, a No Means No hoodie.
Oh, cool!
And so at the time, you know, as a kid, when I was like 12, I started working like paper outs and then Saturday jobs. I used to work before and after school, Saturdays, and I left home when I was 18. And Joki and I lived in this like miserable little house, and we had a meter that you had to put these little cardboard tickets in for the gas and electric. And I remember we had so little money that each month, like it would get to sort of the last couple of days of the month, and if we ran out of power, we had to wait until I got paid again. So we would like some months we'd have 2-3 days where we just had no heat, no light, no nothing, and we'd just be sort of like sat in the dark. And it was, you know, England gets cold in the winter. It used to be freezing cold. I remember sleeping like fully clothed in the bed. But anyway, so the point is, winning that hoodie like was just amazing to me. Like I couldn't believe it. I couldn't have afforded to buy it. So at the end of the concert, I go up to the stand where they had all the merchandise, and they're like, here's my ticket. You know, I won the hoodie. And the guy's like, no, that's your entrance ticket. That's not the raffle ticket. You had to buy the raffle ticket. So I hadn't won after all. I thought I had. So Joki thought that was hilarious, but I was just like crushed.
Did they give you
but
a hoodie?
I did have the wrong t-shirt, the Be Strong, Be Wrong on the back. And I wore that thing until it just fell apart. Like I remember the neckline just sort of separated from the rest of the t-shirt. It had little holes all over it, like moth, you know, like moths had eaten it or something. But it just literally fell apart, and I threw it out, and I wish I'd kept it now. But then the next year they came to Nottingham again. We got to see them. And then, you know, I ended up moving. I left England, and I was in New York for a start, and then I've been sort of back and forth a few times until now I live just outside of San Francisco. But, you know, I had a family, things like that, and, you know, I never really went to any concerts again for a long time. And so then it was 2010, I was back in England. I lived there for a couple of years again, and went with my brother to see them in Derby. And it was a little pub, and there was like a stage at the back of the pub, and, you know, I got to see them. It was one of the last times they toured. And I got to, like, the concert ended, and, you know, people were just sort of like hanging out and that, and I just got to sort of walk up and speak to Rob. You know, he's like drenched in sweat. And just, you know, got to tell him like how much I love their music and what they meant to me over the years. And, you know, just it was great. You know, he's just sort of really nice guy, I think, just as I expected. And he, you know, chatted to me for a couple of minutes. So that just, that really meant a lot. And then I think, you know, what you guys were saying, just like how I agree, the fans of No Means No are just great people. Like I used to be on a forum, but, you know, I remember like, before I went to that concert in Derby, just chatting to a few fans and things like that. And I think the reason is it's like people feel like they're in on a secret, like they've discovered something special. Like, you know, we all feel like we share this thing. And,
Totally.
you know, I think I just feel like so many people would like the band if they heard them. It just always amazed me that they didn't become more popular. Like, you know, there was I can't play any instruments. I don't have like an artistic bone in my body, but you know, I have a real appreciation for the way they play, and I just it surprises me that they weren't more popular. You know, I love it when I hear people like Dave Grohl who says, you know, how much he loves the band, and I'm just curious how many other, you know, musicians and famous musicians know of them, because I do think that they're very sort of underrated. But anyway, that's it. That's my story. So thanks again, and bye.
I fucking love these. I fucking love these, and
they're so good,
man. They're so good, and everybody
so
is like, it's speaking from the heart. And thank you so very much for sending that in, guys. I know we give you a hard time, but like, it's so awesome when people do this. You should do it. It's awesome. Be awesome and share your awesomeness with other people.
We shouldn't go over the songs anymore. Let's just have people call in, and that'll be the podcast.
Yeah, but then they wouldn't have anything to fucking listen to. So we got to have a little jabber.
Wow, come on.
But and listen, I also want to say, like, don't be intimidated. I think part of it. Sometimes I listen to these folks and I'm like, fucking, I can't talk like that. These guys are too good. Like, don't be intimidated. Just call in, send us an email with your text. We've got a couple more of those that we're going to be reading.
Yeah, you fucking English and Irish fuckers. It's like culturally eloquent.
Yeah.
Like, fuck off. We don't all have that. We're all like degenerated English out here in the world.
One thing I have a intuition that some people feel intimidated because a lot of the ones we've put on have been fucking stellar.
Yeah.
But let me put it this way. Every single one we've put on is stellar. If you just don't overthink it, just turn on the fucking mic and just start talking about No Means No. I guarantee you it's going to be interesting. We're going to want to hear it.
I sometimes I think when we make this podcast, like, holy shit, like a couple of people in the band are actually hearing this. And if I really thought about it, I would just get so anxious and I wouldn't even want to do it, but I just can't.
Just talk.
There's nothing I could say that would eloquently show how much I love it. So I just got to just be myself and say my shit. Something Peter talked about that made me think that he talked about how it feels like all No Means No fans feel like they're in on a secret. Yes.
And it's true. And guess what? One of the things that I'm really grateful for is that this podcast has allowed a place for us to all fucking sort of share that secret, share that love. We want you to fucking be a part of it. We want to hear your little corner of that secret. Doesn't have to be like other people's, doesn't have to be flashy, doesn't have to be fucking fancy, but we love it. And I'll say just for myself without speaking for my co-hosts, this podcast takes a lot of work. But it's work of love. It's a work of love.
Yeah.
And one of the things that keeps me going is hearing from you fucks.
Yeah.
Hearing from you guys, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's great to hear, not about us. I mean, it's great to hear like you love the podcast and shit. That's great. But just to hear about your love for the band gives me juice. I fucking love it. So if you can, let us know. And a reminder.
We haven't met yet. Like I say all the time.
Exactly.
I always exhort you guys to sort of answer those three questions. That's just a suggestion. It's actually to the people who aren't feeling so confident. It's just to give you some kind of framework to talk about, but it's super not important.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yep. And a reminder, if you do want to, first of all, the ways you can do it are you can email us audio clips at nomeansnothingpodcast@gmail.com, or you can call us at, here comes my movie phone voice for you 90s lovers, 415-493-8630. That's 415-493-8630. And a small personal note.
Why don't
Peter,
you tell me which movie you want to see? No,
hold
I'm
on,
just doing
Peter.
a Seinfeld joke. Sorry.
Wait, hold on, Peter.
Yes, Peter.
I'm talking to you. You live around the San Francisco Bay Area. That's where I fucking live.
Hey.
So write us an email, man. Maybe we can go have a beer.
Hey.
That'd be fucking great. And just geek out about the band a little
Totes.
bit. Because you're in my back fucking yard, buddy.
Totes.
Anyway.
Totes.
Give us a call, send us a file, send us an email. We'll read your shit. I will say, I'm not that we prefer, but we love hearing your voices, but we will read your shit too, because I understand not everybody wants to hear their voice. I get it. I don't want to hear my fucking voice. It's hard as shit for me to edit this fucking shit every week and be like, I don't want to skip.
Oh my God.
Scrub.
Imagine for a perfectionist type of person, like you start hearing your own vocal mannerisms. I've never heard my voice recorded this much. Right. I did a radio show for 9 years. I think I listened to it recorded maybe twice. I listen to these all the time. So, I'm always, I just did it right there. I say, all the fucking time. I don't say like I do say, And so I'm trying to cure myself of all these things. It's annoying as fuck. So, we're in there with you. So I don't want to hear my own voice. So if you don't want to hear your own voice, do it fucking anyway, because we want to hear it.
But we're about to move on because I know we've been talking about this a lot, and I'm a little bit drunk, so it's hard for me to stop. So I apologize. But thank you to everyone who's been sending it in. We have been getting submissions. I appreciate it. Mm-hmm. So we've got some in the can, not a lot, but send them in. We want to hear from you. All right, that's enough of that.
Wait a minute.
Let's move on.
I have an announcement to make.
Please.
Stefan, who was the last.
Oh yeah.
He was. What did he write something in? Is that what it was?
And he sent it. He wrote something in.
He wrote something and we read it. He wrote something and we read it, and then he took a picture. I got it here on the Facebook here. He's in the Norwegian mountains walking his dog, and his dog is named Teddy. And I hereby anoint Teddy our mascot.
I second the motion.
Yeah.
It's official. Teddy is the mascot,
That's right.
and Stefan, I cannot tell you how fucking thrilling it is and just amazing it is to think of you listening to our stupid fucking voices talking about the best band in history while you're walking your dog through Norwegian snow. That is about the coolest fucking thing in the world.
No, it's fucked up. I live in East Vancouver. Everybody thinks that Canada is really beautiful and stuff, and it is. Like, and Vancouver's a very beautiful place, but I live in kind of a grungy
Norway
part of it, and I walk through, there's junkies around and stuff. Not that they're, whatever, but it's there's sadness, there's filth and everything like that. So, it's so fucking awesome to think of people in other environments and actually see an image like this person is listening to my voice and my friends' voices about this band we like in this entirely different environment.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, come on.
And there are hundreds of you in similar situations, and I just want to take a second before we move on to the next one to thank each and every fucking one of you. Thank you for listening to this. Thank you for loving this band, and thank you for continuing to stick with us. And you know what? Pass it on. We don't need reviews or any of that. We talked about that at one point. It would really mean a lot to us if you can. Try to just spread the word to other people like this kind of music and like No Means No. Because I just want more people who know this band to listen to this podcast. That's it. But anyway, I think we've been meta enough. Let's get back to the meat of this and get into round two. So in this round two, we've got two songs which in different ways were closing songs on their respective albums. We're going to start off with Living in Détente off of Mama in 1982, and this is the album, the LP closer, not the CD closer, because the CD closes with fear, anger, with the fear, anger, betrayal, hatred,
I think.
Right, but it's the album closer, and I think that's a good thing to keep in mind when you listen to it. And then, of course, there is. So that was Living in Détente off of Mama, 1982. God damn, I'm drunk. Off of.
I know, I heard it a little bit.
Jesus Christ, I did not expect this. And then we are pitting it against I Am Wrong off of The Power of Positive Thinking, 1990. But many of us know it because not many of us were lucky enough to get that EP off of the CD release of Wrong.
Yes.
Interestingly, when I was looking at the CD release of Wrong, which I have right here, it has the lyric sheet for that, but on the track listing on the back, it does not fucking put those songs. It just puts All Lies as the track ending. So even on the back of the CD, it just puts All Lies. It doesn't put the fucking I Am Wrong.
Look at that man there smoking the cigarette.
I know. Look at Mr. Wrong. That's fucking Mr. Wrong.
Yeah.
Anyway, glad I still have these fucking artifacts. So, all right. I Am Wrong. I'm going to start off this round, but first, let's not be right. Let's be wrong and listen to a little bit of this fucking song.
I feel great. Let's celebrate. It's a sunny day. Let's dance and play. Never fear. Love is here. Never fear. Love is wrong. Wrong. It all went. It was like it's all went.
All right. I am wrong. First of all, the fact that this guitar, the song starts with the guitar just in the right channel already starts me off balance, which is absolutely perfect for this fucking song. The fact that it thrusts everything in there is kind of just makes me fucking step back right away. This is one of those songs, Matthew, you've brought this up before. This song is one of their Dickier sort of songs.
What?
It's a mantra. It's one of those Dickier.
Oh, I thought you said Dickier.
Dickier, which is a Sufic Islamic musical sort of chanting, droning way of connecting with the divine. It sounded like Dickie, right?
I did. I'm so ignorant.
This is one of those in that Dickier. This is one of those songs in that wheelhouse for me. This is a menacing, brooding, brilliant anthem for the outcasts. This is absolutely gorgeous. And while I think Joyful Reunion is one of their best endings ever, this is a great fucking ending. We talked about All Eyes before, rethinking of Wrong with All Eyes as the ending. I love it. I think that is a very appropriate ending for that album, but All Wrong really also is a great fucking ending for the album. And how weird is it that this wasn't on the album called Wrong, yet the song is I Am Wrong. Of course you think this is fucking perfect, and it is fucking perfect.
Right.
But this song really is a mantra. This song is a fucking like the bass tone, which is just absolutely fat and incredible.
Oh my God.
And to start with the music, the way that Rob bong 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 bong, but he plays with the octaves. He'll do that low octave, then he plays both octaves, the low and the high, and then he goes just to the high where he like moves up is fucking genius. And the way that affects my soul is fucking genius. Just on like two notes, bong 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 bong.
Because it's played with an attitude. God.
It's played with an attitude, and just the engineering on this fucking bass is just insane. It's so insane. And of course, Andy underneath this with his guitar is just playing that fucking in perfect Andy format. Just like he's letting the drums be the lead, the bass be the fucking heartbeat, and then the guitar is this texture underneath that's just this beautiful, brilliant fucking texture. Until, of course, the speed metal parts where it's fucking out front, it's fucking with you. You know, it's gorgeous. It's fucking gorgeous. And this song is 7 minutes and 1 second.
No, it's not.
It is.
Well,
it's
no,
long,
I know, but it doesn't seem like
it's long as fuck, but it does not feel like 7 minutes. It does not.
You
feel
just
like
surprised
7
me.
minutes.
Actually, I never actually looked that up.
Right?
I'm surprised
to
know that. I'm like maybe 4.5.
Exactly. Some of their epics feel like epics. This one doesn't. Like every time I'm surprised, like, wait, that's 7 minutes? What the fuck?
Ecstasy.
So listen, there's not a lot of lyrics to this song, and I don't think the meaning is very occluded, right? It's not a hidden song. There's this great, I love the way that they relay. First of all, before I talk about the meaning of it, which again is not occluded. We talked about Rob's vocals. Andy is also a master vocalist. And this song is brilliant in that regard because he's very subtle in his sarcasm. So I hope this doesn't offend because I know Andy listens to this. I feel like, and I know that Andy actually can do this too because I've heard it. And often I've heard this more in his solo work, which if we can all agree, when we're in between seasons, I actually want to cover Andy's solo efforts because I think they're worth covering.
Would be cool.
I think they're worth covering as well as Sky is Falling. But Andy, in No Means No, has a brilliance in his delivery of sarcasm, which is not meant to be a diminishing feature, which I have never heard in another vocalist. And there's a build in the way he sings this song. There's a build from the beginning to the end. There's a build in the way that he talks about those, in the way he delivers those verses. Never fear, love is here, right? Those verses, which I fucking love. The first verse is a little more straightforward. Never fear, love is here. And in the second fear, never fear. Yeah. It's so sarcastic and dripping. He's evolving. The way he evolves, the way that he's singing each of the verses evolves to be a little more cynical, a little more biting, a little more dripping every fucking time. He knows how to put that extra stank towards the end to just make me feel it even more. And this is a fucking proud banner of outcasts. This song should be embraced by anybody who's ever felt on the margins. They have this, the lyrics are this great start of really laying out these mantras of fucking oppression and repression. This, you'd better be fucking, don't lie, don't talk about the why.
Yeah, and he's sneering, starting to sneer.
Be straight, don't lie, don't tell why. There's just all these fucking, be strong, don't be all wrong. There's these mantras of repression of the forces that we're up against. And yet every verse ends with this declarative scream of, I am wrong. I am not these things. And it is so fucking cathartic.
Yes.
Every time I hear it. And it's really interesting. The first time he has that I am wrong, it's 4 measures, right? It's not that much.
Oh.
But the next 3 are 23 measures long.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Each of the next that's like a whole song in itself.
Whoa.
Each of the 3 verses of I am wrong is 23 fucking measures. So shout out to all my Robert Anton Wilson fans and knowing that 23 is the perfect number for burping and for outcasts. So 23 is one of those big numbers. I think it's really interesting that each of those verses is 23. So shout out to RAW there, to Raw. And those verses also, each time they come in, they layer in more vocals. So each one of those comes in and they start to layer in more Andy vocals until the last one. Exactly. Until the last one just fucking devolves into entropy. And I really think this song is a highlight of not only Andy's vocal range and his ability to communicate that sort of gorgeous sarcasm, not disinterested sarcasm, right? There's disinterested sarcasm.
For sure.
This is a sarcasm. This is a sarcasm that comes from something truly profound. That's working, not like nothing means anything, but like, no, all you fuckers aren't fucking getting what the real meaning is. Fuck you. Yeah, I just burped. I can't help it.
I like it.
Oh. And I love the biting repudiation of false happiness and optimism in the I feel great. Let's celebrate.
Yeah.
It's so fucking juicy. And that last one, now one thing is, and this is maybe a bit of a rata for those that have ever struggled like I have, I could never understand what Andy's lyrics were.
Great.
No, in that last part where he's like, love is here, and it ends and he starts going, wrong, and he like kind of mumbles off, and I never knew what he was saying. And a while ago, Andy wrote to me and he told me, and this is before the podcast, he told me what he was saying.
What did he say?
He's saying, wrong, it was like, I guess it all went all wrong. No. And that's that little bit after the step into my parlor bit, which I'll talk about in a minute. So that's what those lyrics are. And which is fucking perfect, right? It's fucking perfect. And then, of course, after that second verse of the I Feel Great, It's Celebrate, he takes us into the fucking Spider-Verse, which musically, that part is like, I can rewind that part a million fucking times and never get sick of it. That is speed metal, fucking right into my fucking asshole, just directly squirt it. I don't give a shit. That right there, just bring it. Step into my parlor said that and John. Now John, I won't say he's restrained in this, but John is like serving the tone. But in this part, he just lets his fucking shit fly. He's just like, you gotta let me have a moment, man. You gotta let me spew all over this shit. And he does. He's just spraying his fucking fire hose all over. That is gorgeous. And in a song that is so measured and so like its claws slowly sinking into you, it's necessary to have this part of the song that lets loose like this. But it doesn't just let loose, it lets loose with precision. It is a precision attack
on your
in
sphincter.
the middle of the song, and it is the fulcrum around which the rest of the song turns. Right, the song builds up from here, and then it descends from here. But you need that moment
Ain't that
of fucking
love, baby? Ain't that love?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's very appropriate because it comes off of that I feel great. Let's celebrate. Don't fear. Love is here. Into the talk about how love can be a fucking illusion. And it's the spider pulling you in, and it's the spider saying, step into my parlor. Everything's fucking great.
Yes,
and I have to say,
and it's not.
Living in Northern California, I am surrounded by the pablum of false spirituality and positivity. And this is the song that just is an antidote to all of this. But it's not an antidote of nihilism. To me, it's an antidote of saying, no, be powerful in your wrongness. Be powerful in your
strong,
living on the edges. Be
Bring it.
strong, be wrong. And it is fully about it. And then this song lets you off into this beautiful entropic ending. They've done this in other songs, but this is a great way to end it. John just starts letting fucking loose. The bass line comes totally fucking unglued. The vocals start pounding around, bouncing around in this weird fucking echo. The guitar is just punctuating all of it until finally you get this, yes sir. No, sir. Fuck you, sir. And then this, and then I love that little, again, another thing they do so well. Was that good for you?
Oh,
was that good for you? That was good for me. Was that good for you? It's just like, it's fucking perfection. It's
like feedback or unplugging the instrument or something. There's like something that
you gotta go to the bathroom.
So I fucking love this song.
I'm not going after you. Are you out of your fucking mind?
No, you got to go. It's your turn.
No.
I'm done. I'm
wow.
spent.
Oh
wait, I just got to say something real quick.
Please.
And that's okay. I was so stoked about talking about I Am Wrong. Living in Détente was supposed to be first.
I wasn't sure. I fucked up, but yeah, no, it was you fucked up. You fucked up.
I fucked up.
Maybe you could reverse it in post.
No. I'm going to let it live. I don't do any of that kind of editing in this. I fucked up, but that's all right. I was just I'm so drunk and I was so stoked to talk about it. So anyway, Michelle, what have you got for us on I Am Wrong?
All right. Enter the fuzz guitar that introduces the equally angular behemoth bass that generates the almighty half step. Right from the beginning, this song has 110% attitude and conjures up an anxiety level that can only be represented by, and I show you two boys, God damn it, I can't, the thing. Look at
googly eyes.
Yeah, and I put
I
put the googly eyes in quotes, which kind of gave it some eyebrows. You can only conjure up the googly eyes. Okay, I put this in asterisks. My absolute favorite part of the song has always been the ever-evolving and looming vocal tone clusters. That builds on the on the word wrong.
Yeah.
I have to wonder if they just pulled pitches out of their ass and tried to make them sound as disquieting as possible. Do you know what do you focus on these? Because I do. They're picking out pitches that are just not in the
layering
the
them.
And they're wrong in different ways each time.
Right.
Exactly.
It
evolves.
It keeps building up, and it's the fire gets turned up. This to me is the pinnacle of songwriting, having the music, which is its own language, convey the message of the lyrics with neither getting overshadowed. The use of half steps and the occasional tritone is a clear example of the compact chaos this band delivers, and nobody does. Sing it with me. It better makes me feel sad for the rest. Bloom, bloom, blah, 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 blah. Nobody does it. Come on. All right, fine. The happier parts. Oh, well, okay. Don't listen to 70s AM then. The happier parts, I feel great. Let's celebrate. Ending is on the line. I can't read my writing. The happier parts, I feel great. Let's celebrate. Ending on the line, love is, and then it goes right back into the Jaws shark slinking up to bite you in the ass. half step. Just today, I'm going to admit it, just today, I found out that Andy says I'm no hero before the wrong build up, and my hair stood up. I made my own hair stand up by reading. The step into the parlor, said the spider to the fly, is a sick section that always used to kill me, and the punk blowout along with it is insane in the membrane. Once again, I would like to direct your attention to the glorious master in the back laying down the epic fills in the small space allotted to him.
Oh my God! Yeah.
So good.
The yes sir, no sir, absolute art. This whole song is just another example of art.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Matthew.
Art.
What do you got?
Don't have a whole lot to add. I mean, it's pretty basic, but yeah, I know what I know. I'm no hero. I do think it's sort of like I'm just myself, flaws and all. Don't come close. It's sort of like a maybe song about unreasonable adulation. I kind of thought that maybe it had to do with maybe them dealing with fans a little bit. Like don't look up to me. I'm just a guy. And you know, I gotta say to Andy, I mean, it's been at a distance, but you know, I've known the guy for not when he was in No Means No. He's already in Holland, but he was sort of sending. I bought his tape when it came out, but I'm like, hey, do you have digital files? And he sent me them.
Right.
And he's been so great, and he's always such a good guy to talk to. Andy's my friend.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough.
I totally don't even associate when I'm talking to him. I don't even associate him with a band anymore.
And so he's sort of successfully done that. You know, I know what I know. I'm no hero. He's just a guy. He's a very talented guy who did some amazing stuff. Guy, but yeah, exactly. And that is a good thing. I love the dissonant harmonies. How they are differently wrong each time. It's like there's like how can I make this sound bad each time?
Man, it sounds great.
Exactly.
But I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
The drum beat in the beginning is actually it's quiet, but there's this tiny little just one close hat where he just and you're just listening to that like little bit, you know, quite a complex but quiet sequence. So just repeated. There's this one little close hat, which I really like. And contrast is what I like about this song. There's a lot of detail, despite there being, you know, it's relatively simple, but it is meditative. But then it's got the sort of happy, shiny, almost pop punk kind of thing. You know, I feel great. Let's celebrate. And it's at first it seems really genuine, and then it comes back another time, and it's super like dripping with sarcasm, and that's super great. Of course, yes sir, no sir, fuck you sir is exactly sort of Victoria thing.
That's what you say to the man. Yeah, very much so. And yeah, the hardcore breakdown of, you know, step into my parlor, said the spider to the fly. And I asked these guys' permission to do this. I discovered, because I had heard the of course, you know, step into my parlor, said the spider to the fly. I never really knew where it came from. It came from a poem by Mary Howitt. Came out it was published in 1829. 1829. And I thought I would do. I read the poem and I liked it so much that I asked these guys if I could just read it. Not having much more to say about Poetry Corner, Matthew's Poetry Corner, because the lyrics written by this woman, and I'd have to sort of really think about the lyrics, the verses and everything like that, because I do have a literature degree somewhere in my past. But these could be No Means No lyrics, as far as I'm concerned. Lay it down.
So, all right. Will you walk into my parlor? Said a spider to a fly. 'Tis the prettiest little parlor that ever you did spy. The way into my parlor is up a winding stair, and I have many pretty things to show you when you are there. Oh, no, no, said the little fly, to ask me is in vain, for who goes up your winding stair can ne'er come down again. I'm sure you must be weary with soaring up so high. Will you rest upon my little bed? Said the spider to the fly. There are pretty curtains drawn around, the sheets are fine and thin, and if you like to rest a while, I'll snugly tuck you in. Oh, no, no, said the little fly, for I've often heard it said, they never, never wake again who sleep upon your bed. Said the cunning spider to the fly, dear friend, what shall I do to prove the warm affection I've always felt for you? I have within my pantry good store of all that's nice. I'm sure you're very welcome. Will you please to take a slice? Oh, no, no, said the little fly. Kind sir, that cannot be. I've heard what's in your pantry, and I do not wish to see. Sweet creature, said the spider, you're witty and you're wise. How handsome are your gauzy wings, how brilliant are your eyes. I have a little looking-glass upon my parlor shelf. If you'll step in one moment, dear, you shall behold yourself. I thank you, gentle sir, she said, for what you're pleased to say, and bidding you good morning now, I'll call another day. The spider turned him round about and went into his den, for well he knew the silly fly would soon come back again, and so he wove a subtle web in a little corner sly, and set his table ready to dine upon the fly. And then he went out to his door again, and merrily did sing, Come hither, hither, pretty fly, with the pearl and silver wing. Your robes are green and purple, there's a crest upon your head. Your eyes are like the diamond bright, but mine are dull as lead. Alas, alas, how very soon this silly little fly, hearing his wily, flattering words, came slowly flitting by. With buzzing wings she hung aloft, then near and nearer drew, thinking only of her brilliant eyes and green and purple hue, thinking only of her crested head, poor foolish thing, at last up jumped the cunning spider, and fiercely held her fast. He dragged her up his winding stair into his dismal den, within his little parlor, and she ne'er came out again. And now, dear little children, who may this story read, to idle, silly, flattering words, I pray you ne'er give heed. Unto an evil counselor close heart and ear and eye, and take a lesson from this tale of the spider and the fly.
So good.
Jesus Christ.
So good.
Oh,
well, that means they added in their own part, and we shall share love that will never die. That was, I kept expecting that to be in there, but that's their own invention.
Oh my
so
God, that was great.
So good. So good.
Oh shit.
All right. Anything else, Matthew, or should we move on to what was supposed to be the... All right. Well, we're going to reverse
Thanks for bearing with me there.
Hey, look at my paper. I didn't tell you guys. I put a Post-it note on the bottom of it for the first time.
Awesome.
I never had to put more than the paper's worth, or never did, but I put a Post-it note with extra information.
I wish we hadn't have fucked up, because that would be a much better way to end, I think, than ending on Living in Détente. But there we go.
Just move it over. It'd be funny.
No, I can't. It's too late. It's funnier that we just leave it as it is. So anyway, we're going to now dive into one of their early songs, which actually ended the LP of Mama, Living in Détente. So let's dip back into the 70s, back in the Détente era, and listen to a little bit of this jazzy piece.
Lie somewhere between peace and wartime. It's one up on the Joneses, a vicious cycle where overthrow is checked, overkill is made. Living in Détente is so mesmerizing. Everyone walks in the day. Living in Détente where questions make answers of people whose stories are strange.
girls.
Living in Détente. So, again, 1982, a fantastic Kafka-esque vision of Cold War paranoia. This sounds like a song that could have been on the Doctor Strangelove credits. This has got to be the most straight up jazz piece that No Means No has ever put down.
No.
It's
No.
No.
Whoa.
What's their most
Yep,
what's
no.
their most straight up jazz piece other than maybe Tired of Waiting is pretty jazzy. All that shit. But this one's
something else recently.
this one's like stereotypical jazz. This is them. This is them kind of mocking jazz. So
never.
For those that don't know, détente is a French word, means release from tension, but it actually refers to a specific period in the 70s when relations between the US and Russia started to thaw a bit. And so there was this feeling where we were exiting the Cold War. The Cold War was thawing a little bit. And so that was the period of détente. It was under Nixon, and it was, I think, probably something right on the minds of the rights towards the end of this era of the 70s, moving into the 80s. This is very much a song of that time period. And in a way, we're now on the other end of that time period. We're moving back into détente. We're moving the other way. Relations are getting a little bit more icy. So I think it's a very appropriate song in that way. I really would love to see this song get a crazy beat era dance number or a 60s movie dance number. It's got a veneer of being jazzy and fun, but underneath it, there's a real rot. It's got some great lyrics in this.
Real rot.
Really great lyrics. This a vicious cycle where overthrow is check, overkill is mate. Or living in détente where question make dances of people whose stories aren't straight. It's fucking great. What a great line. Early hints of Rob's genius at wordplay. And I love that part where, so it gets into that right in the middle section towards the end where, or it's not in the middle, it's kind of more towards the end where the keyboards get really dissonant.
Yep.
And then it bursts into that just weird, quiet, dissonant where John's really shuffling on the drums. Exactly. And then John just really shuffles in the drums. He's really fucking, you can hear his jazz, the way he holds his drums in the jazz hold anyway, right?
Traditional
and then you've got Rob being real quiet saying, "It's so quiet. It's so cool. It's so cold," right? And these really quiet things. And that really makes me feel like it's vacillating between this idea of it being quiet, meaning things are quieting down on the world stage with the heat of the 60s between us and Russia. It's so cool, right? It's cool, Cat. And then it's so cold. It's the Cold War, right? So he's like talking about all three of these feelings, but underneath it, it still fucking sucks. It's still this awful Kafka-esque fucking world that we're pretending is okay. We're pretending is getting back to normal, but it's not. I don't know, man. This is No Means No just being smooth as fuck, right?
Mm-hmm.
Am I sorry that No Means No didn't go in this direction?
No,
not this exactly. I'm not sorry No Means No didn't really lean into this direction of their songwriting, but this is a great early artifact of their songwriting. I'm really glad we have it, and really interesting to think of this being the last song on Mama. A really interesting, weird way to end that fucking record.
Yeah, for sure.
A fantastic early artifact. Not one of my favorites, but a fantastic early artifact. God, it's hard to talk about this after blowing my wad on I Am Wrong. Sorry, Michelle, what do you got?
That's a good wad to blow on it wad that you blew.
Yeah.
I'm almost there. I'm almost there.
Oh my God. All right. What did I say to you before we started recording tonight? What did I say that I thought the détente was the détente or Dante? Yeah, I'm not that 100% there with what I'm hearing. Anyways, I do hear some stuff. So this song is mostly in 6. There's an interlude section of 8 where the cheesy keys come in for the Love Boat laydown and creepy dream sequence. This song has always kind of killed me as it seemed very loungy, strange, and cool. There are decent bits of their intelligent blend of creepy lyrics filled with ironic lines of very black and white thinking and examples of what you see is not really what's there. The owls are not what they seem. I bet they were big fans of Twin Peaks. I'm going to go off script a little bit here. I bet they were big fans of Twin Peaks. And on that quick note, this band does very much remind me of Dale Cooper.
Ooh, yeah.
Intelligent, funny, handsome,
They like
considerate.
Blue Velvet.
Yeah. Considerate, talented, charming, cool, and kind. Back onto the song. John must likely have played all the keys, with Rob adding lots of ghostly lines and big-eyed whispers. The drums are an absolute treat to hear, and the ride cymbal is something that grabs my attention. The ending of this with the keyboard smear is the aces.
Nice.
Now, guess what? I need to go to the bathroom. Matthew, if I go to the bathroom, are you going to be offended?
Actually, you know what? I kind of need to tinkle too. So why don't we put a pause on the podcast for a minute? Unless Matthew, you want to go on some screen while we're waiting.
Matthew, you want to pee or?
I always want to pee.
All right, let's take a mass pee break. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick pee break, and we'll be right back.
I'm the first one back. I have the most practice. Amazing. Is everybody empty?
And we're back.
Oh my God.
Oh, Jesus.
Did you press the record button?
Oh, it's still recording. I'll just have to cut it out unless there'll be a moment of silence for our friends.
I said a bunch of stuff on anyway.
Did you really?
Oh, good. Oh, maybe I'll keep it in.
Yeah, do it.
Anyway, now we get to God. This is not.
Wait, doesn't Matthew have to go on the?
Oh, Matthew has to go. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, Matthew. Please let us know what you think about this
Dante.
early version
Détente
of No Means No.
Yeah, Détente. Yeah, as a student of history, I'd say that Détente ended right around the time that this album would have been recorded, when the Soviets invaded Afghanistan. A thing that they did that kind of arguably led to the downfall of the Soviet Union. I wonder if there are any parallels.
I don't think so. No.
Anyway,
no.
The line "overthrow is check, overkill is mate." That doesn't resonate at all right now. It's really hard not to talk about Ukraine, obviously, and in like talking about this song. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's a little tongue in cheek, but living in Détente, it probably was a bit of a relief after the Cuban Missile Crisis and everything like that in the 70s. The getting closer to China. Nixon goes to China. The world doesn't seem so deadly and unfriendly anymore. And then the Soviets go and do something stupid in the 80s. It probably did set a lot of teeth on edge, and people get back to fearing things, kind of like I've been doing lately. Things I didn't think I was going to have to fear again.
A little bit. Nuclear destruction.
Yeah. Just smidge. Anyway, I don't want to talk too much about that because I think it's pretty clear. Yeah, Détente. I love the one up on the Joneses. This is two references to Joneses in No Means No's songs.
Right.
Yeah, one up on the Joneses. I guess that's kind of what is going on right now, and what arms races are generally. Yeah, it's so quiet, it's so cool, it's so cold. Jordan, you said it perfectly, exactly what I would have been saying about that. Musically, I love the noir piano. I am wondering whether the bass is an acoustic electric.
Well,
or electric acoustic,
maybe,
I should say.
Yeah.
It sounds.
I got one of those behind me right now, right there.
Oh, yeah. Like the Violent Femmes has one of those.
Yeah, or even a stand-up bass. It does not sound like a bass guitar to me. Not
You're right.
The typical one that he plays. And I really was thinking that when I was I was listening to it in my car today on my way home from work, and the traffic was shitty, so I got to listen to the song a bunch of times. And to have a
God,
subwoofer in
imagine
the
Rob
car.
playing acoustic bass. Jesus Christ, that would kill me.
Yeah, and oh boy, did it sound good in my car. Maybe
Cool.
better because it's like really, really atmospheric. It wasn't fuzzing out at all. It was really pretty fucking awesome. Yeah, the game show interlude in the middle. You know, and then into the super dissonant chords. I mean, I guess that's kind of like the end of Détente. You know, things feel pretty, you know, jazzy
Hey, girls.
in the 70s and perhaps in the 2010s also. And then dissonance and cool and cold. Yeah.
History rhymes.
Yeah.
Poop.
Yeah, indeed. That's about all I have to say. I love the jazz breakdown. It is definitely a jazz number. I started doing the math. I think John was born in 1963, which means that he was like 18 or 19 when this was recorded.
Oh, how cool! Right out of high school.
Yeah,
That's
or maybe
so
still in
great.
it. Maybe still in it. Yeah,
It's just interesting to think about them playing songs like this and then them playing some of the other songs on
Red Devil.
so different. There's so much
Yeah.
from Mama.
Yeah. I love that both this song and I Am Wrong and weird kind of feedback and sound of maybe them unplugging their. Oh, what was that?
What?
That was me.
What happened?
It was me
Was
tinking
it
glass
your
on accident.
empty glass?
Yeah, it was me on empty
Fill
glass.
it up again.
Right.
I can't. I'm drunk.
Sorry, my headphones. Anyway, I love how both of these songs end with weird sonic effects that sound like they have to do with like unplugging equipment or like thumping the amp or something.
Yeah,
kind of awesome.
It's dropping the mic. They're dropping the mic.
Yeah. I love that they make those sorts of things part
Like
of the music.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about all I gotta say about Living in Détente. I love the fact that I Am Wrong, Living in Détente, and Joyful Reunion were all album closers.
Same fucking band.
Yeah,
Same
this is an album.
I Am Wrong, Living in Détente.
Different eras of the end here.
Mm-hmm.
It's
God
pretty
damn.
fucking amazing. So let's do this vote. I guess I get to go first this time, right? So I am clearly, because I fucked up the order, it's clear where my vote is. I am wrong is where I'm at. That's my vote. I am wrong by a mile. Strangey.
Wrong am I? Hey,
Nice.
did I just make a sci-fi joke like that Yoda guy?
Also, no, you just
did. Or
you just said it wrong.
Dr. Seussish. Yeah.
wrong
Loser.
am I? Whatever. You know what
Matthew,
I'm saying, and I'm saying
I do.
it.
Yeah.
Matthew, where are you at? You going to buck the trend? Or?
I'm not. It's unanimous. I Am Wrong.
Unanimous.
It's got to win. I like Living in Détente, but I think it's
I
a
do
little
too.
tongue in cheek, and I think it's kind of more of one of the songs. It's a bit of a curio. I do like the fact that I don't like the fact that it's so resonant right now in
that's not
geopolitics.
Great. That's not great.
But I kind of think that's super interesting. So, in any case, I'm sorry to relegate it to the lower ranks, but I Am Wrong has to go through for me.
You are wrong, and I am wrong, and I am wrong goes through.
Wrong.
And
you are wrong.
It's going to have a joyful reunion with round 2.
Yep.
Whereas Teresa, unfortunately, has taken that knife and sunk it deep into her chest and is going to be living in Détente. Teresa, you're living in Détente for the rest of eternity. Unfortunately,
she's pissed.
She's pissed, but what are you going to do? Ladies and gentlemen, we don't know. Let us know what you think about those votes. I have a feeling tonight we probably aren't too controversial on our votes, but we'll see. In any event, before we wrap this up, we do have a favorite little treat for everybody.
Wait a
but this
minute.
time...
Can I say something? Am I
course you
wrong in thinking this is our longest ass episode
It's
ever?
pretty long.
We're off
This
at
is
2
this is
fucking hours.
It's an hour and 49 minutes without the clips yet. So this is fucking long, and I don't know how these songs got us to be that long. I do know I poured myself extra whiskey tonight, and that didn't help. So my apologies.
All right. Well, I just wanted to say,
But-
I don't think I've gone upstairs this late.
But to say on that front, we've got some teeny weeny little Andy's corrections today. I've taken to only doing 2 songs at a time, and these 2 songs were short. So I'm going to go ahead and read Andy's corrections. Andy, as always, goddamn, thank you for these.
I'm opening another beer because I don't actually have to go to work tomorrow. This is one of those.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Michelle, you want to give me my little Foley for Andy's corrections corner, please? Thank you.
Andrews.
So first, John instrumental. Not too much to say about this. We rehearsed it a lot and nailed down a complete arrangement. The only thing missing was vocals, which this song seemed to need. As such, it remained unused and unplayed.
Oh, God.
I think we talked about that, how it really could have used some words, and I wondered what they would have been.
But it's so good. It's a little nugget.
All right, and then Predators. A post-Mama, 2-pieced Rob and John song. It may have been recorded 1 or 2 times in my time with the band without success. Everything about the song was great live. It followed no fucking in the set for a long time. But when the band went to record it, it sounded flat, and everyone agreed. Thankfully, a version did eventually come out later on Worldhood. And and that's all that Andy has to say, but I will go in and say, thank God they recorded it, because what a fucking song that was.
Yes.
Really good song. So Andy, thank you as always for that.
Yes, sir.
There's some big old juicy ones coming up on the next episode. But in the meantime, No Means No Thing is produced and edited by yours truly, Jordan Flato. Co-hosting and excellent podcast graphics are by Matthew Kowalik. Michelle Strangest is our third and everyone's favorite co-host and official Foley artist.
Stop it.
Thank you to No Means No for the use of stock taking as our intro and outro music. And what is the bitter explanation for the violence of my indignation? I mean, well, it's the plain as the nose on my face. I'm a member of the human race.
That's deep.
All right.
It's just deep to me.
Secrets time.
Oh, God.
It's time for our next draw. I'm nervous as fuck.
Are you going to scream? You're going to scream, aren't you?
I'm not.
I think today's the day.
I'm not screaming on this first one, but it's really good, and I'm stoked to do these. I'm stoked for every song coming up. So there's the first.
I've had 3 beers. What the hell was that, Matthew? What was that?
No, that's not right. There it is.
Up?
Oh, that's the Guinness widget. All right, there's our first matchup. I want to know
about that. I want to talk to that guy about that Guinness thing.
You see, you see the first matchup?
Oh.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Wait, what?
Oh.
Oop, I can't do that one. It's got the same thing. Now, God damn it, it's giving me the same thing.
Oh, I told you. I knew it.
I had to redo it 3 times because the second song in that first one came up as the song each time.
Wait a minute. What?
Next episode, we finally get to end the podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, okay.
Oh, shit.
Because we finally get to end the podcast. The podcast is over. Thank God we did it. We reached the end. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
So is Jordan.
I'm coming. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Good night. So thanks, everybody. And
remember to tip your bartenders when you leave. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Can't stay here. Fuck off.